Hello everyone, my name is Laura and I welcome you to the tour of my craft space. One of the things that has kept me, entertained during the COVID-19 shelter-in-place orders has been viewing crafty videos on YouTube, including the craft room tours that so many makers have put forth. I will caveat this by saying I am a casual crafter. I like to dabble in a lot of different things, but none of them very seriously. So this video won't have proper lighting, proper video equipment, etc. But as I was viewing all of these craft room tours on YouTube, I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I did a tour of my space as a casual crafter? So let's get started. My craft space sits just off the landing of the top floor of our split-level house. It is a 10 by 9 room that is furnished primarily by Ikea with a dash of Target. These furnishings include 2 Linmon tables from Ikea, a 4x4 calyx unit from Ikea, a 2x2 threshold unit from Target, which seats my Heidi Swap mink machine, as well as my Silhouette Cameo 3, a wide Alex drawer unit from Ikea, which seats my Silhouette Cameo 4, and 2 mint Raskog carts from Ikea. Now, before I go off and pursue a sponsorship from Ikea, I should also mention that I have 1 Recollections cart from Michaels. We'll take a look at my craft space in small sections. The first section will be the area that's to the left of my door when you walk in. This contains the Michaels Recollections cart, as well as the Linmon table that is attached to the calyx unit. Let's take a look at that area in further detail. A disclaimer before I do, I am a total nerd and couldn't figure out how to point to stuff while filming. My pointing always ended up at the wrong spot, so I thought I would use my Severus Snape wand to point to things. I was going to do it throughout the video, but only ended up doing it in this next section. Alright, wands at the ready as we explore the area to the left of my door, starting with this Michaels Recollections cart. This cart serves a dual purpose, both crafty and functional. On the functional side of things, I have the second and third tiers devoted to office supplies. Things like postage stamps, pens, pencils, not super exciting. What's exciting to me is the top tier, and that is where I have an Ikea desk organizer. I think it's called the Fiala, and that is stocked with a weekly Project Life kit. I just started Project Life at the beginning of this year, after seeing someone post to Facebook that they had done a weekly album for 2019 and they found it to be one of the most satisfying projects they had ever done. I'm a little late to the game as Project Life has been around for a long time, and I guess people have been doing weekly, nay, daily albums for quite some time, but I'm just getting into it and I'm enjoying myself thus far. Moving away from the cart and down the table, I have my iPad and my personal laptop. This workspace is primarily dedicated to home office stuff and doesn't get a lot of crafting action. When it's time for me to do my Project Life, I actually pull that Fiala out and put it on the other table that is currently behind me. Also on this table, I have some cute inspirational Disney art items, and then underneath the table, I have a gray box from Michaels that is full of patterned paper. Alright, now before we move on to the calyx, I do want to hop back over to the Fiala, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, to show you how I have organized, or perhaps not organized, my weekly Project Life kit. Taking a look at the side, at the bottom I have my 4x3 cards, in the middle 4x6, as well as lots of stickers, and at the top I have the album and the Misty stamping platform. At the bottom, I did take a stab at organizing these by orientation and color scheme. I started out really strong and then added a whole new kit that I didn't put in that organization scheme, but I generally know where everything's at and I'm comfortable with it. In the middle, I have my corner rounder, as well as some small letter stickers and any embellishment that happens to be that width. Then I have ephemera, stickers, and more stickers. I found a whole bunch of sticker books over at Tuesday Morning and have been delighted with the price of things over there. And then I have my 4x6 cards, leftover pictures, and things like that. Up at the top, I have this handy dandy calendar that shows me the weeks so that I get my weeks right when I'm writing them out in the album. I have my month stickers, thickers, any sticker that is going to be taller will sit there in the back. Not the most organized, but I like rifling through and hearing the crinkle. Then I have my Misty stamping platform and the album itself. I know the album won't always be able to sit back there, but it works for me for now. Okay, let's move over to the Calyx and I'll show you what's in store over there. On top is an ode to Haunted Mansion, although the tombstone's technically a Target Halloween item. I also have the We Are Memory Keepers typecast typewriter and a Bluetooth speaker. Moving down, the unit itself holds a variety of supplies. As a casual crafter, I have a little bit of a lot of different things, and I find that the organization method shown here works really well for me. Starting off, I have sorted my 12x12 cardstock by color using the We Are Memory Keepers paper trays. These paper trays are acrylic and come in stacks of 4. 2 stacks of 4 fit perfectly within one Calyx cubby. Now, ignoring the old silhouette kits being guarded by Bullseye in the upper left-hand corner, a majority of my supplies are organized using these translucent bins, which I found in the home section of Target. I purchased the bins in 2 different sizes, 6.5 by 13 and 13 by 13. These bins have lids, which enable me to stack them on top of one another, and I love that I can do several different combinations with them. I can do 2 larger bins, a larger bin and 2 smaller bins, 4 smaller bins, and when we look at the bottom of my unit, you'll see that I've used 1 larger bin and then some larger tools placed on top. The bins themselves are not super organized within. As a casual crafter, I find that labeling them was enough to keep me organized. All I need to do is grab the bin that I need when I'm crafting, pull it off the shelf, rifle through to collect what I need, and then either put that bin to the side so that I can go back to it later, or slide it right back on the shelf. This works really well for me. The bottom shelves of the unit are where we see the mixture of bins and tools. I have my Canon selfie photo printer, always plugged in and ready to print out those weekly Project Life photos. On the bottom, I have a bin of We Are Memory Keepers tools, along with a larger tool placed on top. To the left, I have a bin of iron-on supplies with the Cricut Easy Press placed on top of the bin. To the left of that, my sewing machine along with some sewing supplies. And then on top of that cubby, I have my Cricut Cuttlebug along with a bin with some embossing folders and dies. And then the 2 leftmost cubbies are technically under the table. They're the hardest to reach, and thus I place my least frequently used supplies there, such as my Silhouette Curio and some Xyron tools. I also have that gray box of pattern paper tucked away against the unit. Moving right along. Does anyone else think of the Muppets when they hear someone say that? I do. Anywho, the next segment of my craft room that we're going to take a look at is the area with the threshold storage unit and the Alex drawers. There are some supplies tucked between the two, and this is the area that sits directly behind my workspace. Panning up a little bit, if the top of my Calyx unit was an ode to Haunted Mansion, then this corner of my craft space is definitely an ode to my favorite band, MXPX. When I was decorating my craft space, it was important to me that I surround myself by things that made me happy and also inspired me. So throughout, there are several Disney influences, a little bit of Harry Potter, and a lot of MXPX. The most special piece in my craft space to me is this Disney-themed MXPX poster, which is in the right-hand corner. It makes me smile every time I look at it. All right, I know you're not here for music recommendations, so I'll get back to it. As I mentioned before, this Target Threshold unit seats my Heidi Swap Mink foil machine, as well as my Silhouette Cameo 3. On the shelves of this unit are albums that I'm currently working on, along with the associated papers for those albums. I also have a Totally Tiffany paper organizer, which I've used to sort through my paper scraps. To the right of my albums are stamps, card making supplies, and associated items. I recently learned about stamps at the 2019 Stamp and Scrapbook Expo here in Chicago. I've always known that stamps existed, of course, but I never actually used one until I came across the booth for Kindred stamps. Kindred stamps are right up my alley as they contain all pop culture themed items. I thought I'd pull this out just to show you. I don't have that many stamps, but I wanted to show you how this bin can be used to sort stamps on their side, and if they're a little bit tall, you can place the lid underneath the bin and it slides in just as easily as if the lid were on top. Another reason why I love these bins from Target. The bottom shelf of this unit contains some tri-blend markers from Spectrum Noir. I use these markers to color in stamped images. The bottom shelf also holds some Heidi Swap Mink materials and a Project Life fusing tool. In the area between the unit and the Alex drawers, I have some goodies that don't quite fit anywhere else. This includes some larger rolls of transfer tape, a Caterpillar crop, a large craft mat, a Tim Holtz media mat, a scrap easel, and a scoring board. Now on to the Alex to show you how I store my Silhouette supplies and materials. The top drawer of the Alex holds Silhouette cutting mats, a Cricut Bright Pad, along with all of the power cables needed to run these tools. The second drawer contains 12 by 12 sheets of vinyl and transfer tape, along with a Fiskars paper trimmer. And then here I have some random supplies that I recently bought and I'm not sure where to best stash them. The third drawer contains all of my heat transfer vinyl. I've stored scraps in this document envelope for easy access, and then I have all of my tools stored along the side in this long green container. This next drawer contains additional rolls of materials, and it also has my OttLite, which I often grab out when I'm crafting. It is USB chargeable, so it's really great when crafting on the go. The remaining drawers just have miscellaneous rolls of materials. If you're still with us on this tour of my craft space, thank you so much. We're almost there. We're going to wrap up with a quick overview of the Raskog carts and a tour of my closet. This cart sits directly next to my workspace, and I've filled it with the things that I reach for most frequently. I have some of the items in this little to-go organizer, which I'm able to pull out and bring with me if I'm scrapping on the go, but you'll see that I have a variety of adhesive, rolled adhesive, tape runners, ATG, liquid adhesive, and scissors. Lots and lots of scissors. I also have a cup full of pens, which I reach for when I'm working from home, but also when I want to do some fun journaling. Some of the nicer fine-tipped pens are in that black and white container next to the ATG. The second tier holds 6x6 and 6x8 paper pads in one of those handy-dandy Target containers without the lid, some ephemera, and then this bin has letter stickers as well as pencil pouches, which I use to hold some enamel dots, as well as some word stickers. And then I have this one filled with doodads for the album that I'm currently working on. And I love these bins again because they slide right back onto the cart. The bottom shelf of this cart contains pictures for the albums I'm currently working on, cleaning supplies such as baby wipes and Clorox wipes, and some chipboard letters, twine, and other little doodads. The other Raskog cart, which is located directly in front of my closet, is what I call my messy cart. Not only because it's messy in appearance, but because it contains all of my messy supplies. Paints, Mod Podge, spray adhesives, anything that's sticky and messy goes on this cart. I will note that that roll of paper towels, along with the pink bucket behind the roll, often sit on top of my workspace when I'm scrapping. It enables me to quickly grab something if I need to clean up a spill, and the pink bucket serves as a container for my scraps, which is really handy to have as I'm working through my album. All right, let's take a look at the last area of my craft space, the closet. This is the area where I feel there is the most room for opportunity in terms of maximizing the storage space, so I look forward to any feedback you might have. In the closet, I have a 2x4 calyx unit. I use this to hold a variety of supplies. I have my portable printer as well as a projector on that top row there. To the right, I have Project Life supplies. I noted earlier in the video that I discovered Project Life at the very end of last year and started doing it this year. What's ironic about that is that at the same time that I was starting, I also learned that Project Life was discontinuing all of their supplies. Luckily, I stepped foot in a Tuesday morning for the very first time and discovered that they are a treasure trove for craft supplies, including Project Life. Moving down, I have some boxes with photos and an additional album. The bottom shelves are partially obscured by that projector stand, but those left two cubbies contain mason jars as well as some blank gifty type items. And the right two shelves contain bins that I have craft books in. These are tattered books that I don't mind tearing up and using in future projects. And then that bottom fabric bin just has some polyfill and other softer materials. To the right of the unit, I have some of my travel containers along with some of the larger items that don't quite fit anywhere else. As we move up the calyx unit, on the top of the unit, I have 4 12x12 iris scrapbooking bins. I use these to hold some more Heidi Swap mink materials in addition to some paper packs that I've purchased. Moving to the right, in the white bin behind my wood steel magnolia sign, I have some albums that I've worked on over the years. To the right of that, more Project Life supplies in another handy-dandy Target bin. And to the right of that, I have 2 boxes which contain some additional craft supplies as well as letters for my miniature light box. Moving up in the closet, on the next shelf, I have more of those 12x12 iris scrapbooking bins, which I use to hold my seasonal paper crafting items for Halloween and Christmas. To the right of that, I have what I call my memory bin, which is where I drop any cards I receive. And to the right of that, I have this lovely red bin where I hold supplies for my community theater group. The top shelf of the closet is not visible on camera, but it holds just additional supplies in the similar vein. Staple guns, iron, some of those functional crafting supplies that I might use. Moving out of the closet quickly to complete the rest of the tour, across from my workspace and next to my closet, I do have a television, which I utilize to keep me entertained while I'm crafting. That's my craft space in less than 20 minutes. Thank you so much for joining the tour. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out, and I thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.